Okay there folks, in real time it's Friday the 29th of December, it's mid-afternoon. This video should land on YouTube at 8 PM on Sunday evening, all being well. Before I go any further, make sure you remind me, whatever you do, to show these before the end of the video. And don't forget, I've tasked you with reminding me, do not forget to remind me. They're very important. Pardon me, I've got to do that. I don't know why. I don't rub it out. If you don't know me, you'll realise the way I work. It gets left in. I don't edit. None of that palaver with me. Remind me to show them their importance in the context of this video. They really are. Right, this series, let me put the bins on because I can't see without them, as blind as a bat, is entitled Who Do I Watch on YouTube? Okay, and this is number 5 in that series. 2 came out on Friday evening. 2 came out on Saturday. I'm going to release 2 tonight. This is going to be the 8 PM one. I'm going to release another at 8:30. You'll all know who this is about because you'll see it in the thumbnail. But before we get to that, let me just say this. I'm releasing, I think it's 11 videos over 5 or 6 evenings. And it's about the people that I actually watch on YouTube that got me started in thinking I could run a YouTube channel. Now, before I go any further, let me just say this. This isn't like the channels that you watch. This isn't like any channels out there. It really isn't. I operate from this bedroom studio. I operate from this studio on my Todd here, on my own, with just a laptop in front of me. There's no fancy editing. I wouldn't know how to do it. No fancy graphics. Wouldn't know how to do it. And no background music. Not got the time. I'm the biggest technophobe in the world. But what I do is produce numerous videos per day. I work in a full-time job as well. On a bad day I get 4, 5, 6 videos out. On a productive one, 10, 11 or 12. I've even been known to do 14 a couple of times. I don't put as much work into it as the 11 people I'm going to discuss, as in the editing, the graphics and all of that. But in different ways I put even more work in because I do a lot of research. I do a lot of background stuff that you don't see. And I do it all without a script, no script at all. Many couldn't do that. Some will say I can't do it, but I do it all the same. And I cover a range of subjects that really, really are vast. But I started a YouTube channel, 8 or 9 months ago now. I think it was probably April of this year. I did it on the back of these 11 people, these 11 channels I'm going to mention to you. And I'm bringing this up so people that follow my channel can have a look at them if they want to and see whether they get any value from them. They can also see whether I'm correct about the presenters with the various critiques I'm going to make, as in the pluses and minuses on each presenter. And it also gives you a chance, because you already watched the channel I'm going to discuss, not my channel, the channel I'm going to discuss, to possibly have a right pop at me. Now to that end, and I say have a right pop, this is why I say it. I show this before I get into the channel. I don't know why I show it, because in the moment, that's where I've got the bins on, I actually read it to you anyway, but I show it. There it is there. I suppose if somebody's deaf, they'd need to read it, so it'd be better for them. And it actually says, if you've just watched my review on a channel that you follow, presented by a presenter that you no doubt love, that's your presenter on the channel I'm discussing now, not me, you don't even know me, please, now that's me saying to you, please, before having a go at me, watch my video, the one I did that came out on Thursday evening of this week, entitled Why Did I Start a YouTube Channel? Okay, why did I start a YouTube channel? Now, the 11 channels I'm going to discuss are behind me starting a channel, for varying reasons. So I'm going to tell the people that follow my channel why I follow them, why I look at them. Some of them I watch more than others, but I've garnered bits and pieces from all of them, including the one we're going to discuss now. There's things I like about all of the 11 channels. In some instances, in many instances, there's things I don't like. A couple of channels especially, there's things I don't like, but I watch them anyway. But in the main, I like many things about many channels. But as I've said in the past, us Brits are a weird bunch. If I say 10 things about this channel now that I'm going to discuss, and about its presenter, and 2 are negative, and 8 are positive, you people, because you love the channel, because you've watched it for months or years, and that's how we get with presenters we like, will defend this presenter to the hilt. And the 2 things I've just said that I think aren't great, you'll jump down my throat on. You won't look at the 8 positives, which far outweigh the 2 negatives. You look at the negatives because that's the way we are, unfortunately. Anyway, that's why I've shown that letter. Right, the channel we're going to discuss, it's SCOTSMAN in Tenerife, run by Kevin. Can't remember his last name, but I know it. Anyway, that is irrelevant. Right, Kevin's channel was one of the very, very first ones I started to watch when I started to watch YouTube, which, as I've said in the intro video that I did on Thursday night, why did I start a YouTube channel? I've only been watching YouTube now for probably about 18, 20, 22 months. It came on the back of one of the holidays I'd done recently, I think in Tenerife. I was looking at various things on YouTube, sports related, because some things have been released on YouTube, and I came across a YouTube channel based on Tenerife. It wasn't Kevin's channel, it was another, but it's someone Kevin knows well. I liked it and I followed it pretty religiously. And then probably only a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, I came across Kevin's channel. And I look at a lot of stuff he does. I don't follow everything, Kevin. I don't, because I can't. I just don't have the time. I'm running a YouTube channel now, as well as working full time. Considering I've got a full time job, and considering I don't edit, I don't graphic, and I don't background music, in many respects, I put in as much work as Kevin, considering I've got a full time job as well. But if you took my full time job away, and I just did the YouTube only, the amount of work I'm doing on it now, it'd been a drop in the ocean compared to the work Kevin does on his channel. Kevin's not massive on graphics and background music and such, but he does a lot of editing, but more importantly, does lots and lots of recording. Kevin is I would say Kevin is what's the word I can't think of the exact word, but the same as me. I do loads and loads and loads of videos on a daily basis without missing a day, and I mean loads. I'm very, very, very productive. But as I say, they're not all really long in length, and there's no work goes into them with things like editing and so on and so forth. Kevin does as many videos a day, but they're all longer versioned, and he's got loads and loads of editing to do, loads of downloading to do, and he's often doing it from not the best hotel and apartment rooms in the world, and in heat. Kevin goes here, there and everywhere on planes. He's virtually never at home. I'm lucky enough that I can do everything from home on a daily basis. I would suggest out of the 11 people that I'm going to review, Kevin is the busiest person of all. I don't think there's anybody puts as much into a channel as Kevin puts into his. And I mean the overall blood, sweat and tears, the time aspect, that's what I mean. He puts absolutely loads in. Started watching him, as I say, probably 18 months or more ago now, and liked him. Always liked him. He just comes across as just a level-headed, decent, normal guy. No airs and graces, nothing about him, doesn't profess to be anything he isn't, doesn't overdress or anything like that. He's just a normal human being. I would suggest, as I say, out of all the presenters, nobody works harder than Kevin. I would also suggest, of all the presenters, I think nobody needs to make it work as much as Kevin does. I think it has to really, really work for Kevin. Reason being is, I think it's the only job he has. There's another couple of presenters we're going to go at that. It's the only job that they have. But with Kevin, I think he does a lot more emails than anybody. He does a lot more videos than anybody. He's got a big subscriber base, but not as big as some others. And because of that, he has to do more videos. None of these presenters let you know what they're earning and how they earn. But he gave some clues the other week in a video I seen as to how many he needs to get out per week and per month to make it work. Because no doubt they have to pay for all his travels, for all his accommodation, for all his food, and for his family. And he's away from home a hell of a lot. And the amount of videos he puts out is just phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I mean, I take my hat off to him. He works really, really, really hard. I don't know how he does it. I couldn't do it. I can put loads of videos out daily and I'm doing it alongside a daytime job, that's fine. I couldn't go on holiday and do what Kevin does because he has virtually no holiday. You know, he steals half a day here or a day there, that'd be no good for me. You know, I like to go on holiday to have a holiday, but I do know he's his working holiday, so it is a bit different. But no, he works really hard. I think many of his videos are great. The people he meets whilst he's out filming love him to bits, so it says a lot for him. All the places he goes aren't necessarily places for me. And I mean, even in Tenerife, all the bars he goes to, a lot of the places he goes to aren't for me. We eat and drink in different places. The accommodation definitely isn't for me because he goes very, very, very bog standard most of the time, and I won't do that. These things I've not been as keen on with his videos. I mean, in his early videos, it was all about finding the €1 pint. Didn't interest me at all. It does with a lot of people. I know it does. Maybe if you're from Scotland or from Yorkshire, maybe more so. I don't know. I'm only joking there. But I think you tend to find a €1 pint and you're in a €1 establishment. You know, when you consider beer's normally a lot cheaper in Spain and in Tenerife than it is in GB anyway, I don't mind paying a little bit more for a better quality pint and, more importantly, a better establishment. You know, my be-all end-all in a €1 pint. It's like in Benidorm there, they've got, what's it called? The place up from the place where they filmed the Benidorm thing. Is it John and Joseph's? Yeah, where you have people eating till 3 and 4 in the morning. They eat there all day. And they eat there all day because the food is absolutely dirt cheap. And I mean dirt cheap. I ate there once. I mean, I'd had a lot to drink there once. The food was pretty crap, to say the least. In fact, it was very crap. And I said, I'm never going to go back there again. And I never have. They might do the odd good meal, but it was crap. You often do get what you pay for. So the €1 pint isn't really for me. The fact that Kevin's trying to keep people until the end of his video all the time and important news viewers, but right at the end, it's not sort of for me. But maybe what Kevin does, maybe the more, not just the amount of views, the length of time they're on, might pay him more because it's more adverts, he might get paid on that. I don't know. I'm guessing that's the way it works. I should know because I'm on YouTube, but I don't know enough, unfortunately. And some of these thumbnails bore me as well. You know, is this affordable or very expensive? Blah blah. And I think it's just because I just keep seeing the same thumbnails. But the thing is, when he's doing 8, 10, 12 videos a day, 7 days a week, you're going to get the same thumbnails because you can't keep putting a different thumbnail onto every video and every day. You just couldn't do it. So that must be difficult. But no, all I will say about Kevin is he works extremely hard, and I mean extremely hard. He is another person I tried to get hold of about 3 or 4 months ago. I actually wanted to ask him some questions about YouTube. I'd like somebody from somewhere to help me, and I'd like it with someone that I actually watch, but you don't know who to approach. And many people aren't forthcoming with the time, which I sort of get and I sort of don't. And I get it, to be honest with you, more with probably Kevin than most, because he's just always recording and editing. He's not got time to talk to someone. He did actually say, if you've got any questions, you put them in an email, I'll get back to you. And he probably would have done. But I'm someone that hates typing a 10 or 15 minute email, and an email never comes across right. I'd rather have had a 3-minute WhatsApp call. He can be anywhere in the world for that. And in 3 or 4 minutes, they can answer as many questions as you want them to. That's if they want to, that is. And it's done and dusted easily. Or had he have been home for a few days in Scotland, they could have done that. But anyway, he never does that, which is fine. He doesn't have to. I've got no hard feelings. It shows I've not, because all I'm doing is praising his channel. Kevin's is one of the ones. I've shown you the note to start with, as in if there's anything that you've got to say about me or you want to have a pop at me, look at my video first. I think this is another one of the reviews where nobody needs to have a pop at me, because I've got nothing bad to say. I can't think of anything bad to say about him at all. I think he's good at what he does. I like him. Where we're at, I would do this with every video. I've not done it. My channel now is 8 months old. I think I'm on 1,270 odd subscribers, but I've done it on myself from nothing with no help, and I'm happy with that. How's Kevin's doing? Kevin's has been going since September 2020. As of this week, he was on 56,100 subscribers. I think it's very good. About the same as the last video I did on the Benidorm Enthusiast. They're on about the same figures. There are people with more, and I would suggest, like the Benidorm Enthusiast, Kevin probably deserves even more than that. He's doing really well, doing a good service, and more importantly, as I say, he works his socks off. He really does. So good on you. Right, what we're going to go to. Remember, you didn't remind me, did you? You didn't remind me. It's a good job I remembered. Right, Kevin, I tried, and I've not asked anybody this on any of the videos I've done previously. I'm not going to do it on any others. But if anybody sees this video that follows Kevin, please, if he knows you well, and he's someone that'll pick up your message, send him a message, tell him to watch this video, or tell him the 2 things I'm going to recommend, because they're important. He's had that problem with his feet, or with one foot in particular, for about 12, 18 months now, and it's causing him grief. I know there was a time earlier this year he was having to record less videos because of it. It was giving him real jip. Well, I tried to tell him in an email what has helped me, and I don't think it was described properly. I've had the same problems as him, and they were really bad. They probably wasn't as bad as Kevin's got them, but still I was walking on a daily basis, but I was only doing 25, 30 minutes per day. as part of some kind of fitness regime because my health hadn't been great and I need to walk more. And it was killing me. There were some days I was struggling to get out, but I used to get through it and do it, but it used to kill me. Anyway, a mate of mine, a mate of the wife's, the leader, sent me this. Kevin, I don't know if you can see that. Got it from God knows where, from Amazon. Sent me that about 12 months ago. You can see what it is. I don't know what they call them, but you can see the size of it based to my hand. It's not that big. It was a godsend, Kevin. I've got that. I use it with me, keep my sock on, and I just roll my foot over it constantly for 3 or 4 minutes. When my foot's really bad and really, really, really tight, it loosens it up. It really loosens it. The pain can still be there, but it loosens it up. I used that for 2 or 3 months, and it helped no end. And then only about August, September of this year, I said to the wife, I said, get me some of that deep heat stuff. You know that stuff that you spray when you've got a bad back and whatever else. I know it only masks things, but it's pretty hot, whatever. And I started to spray that on it. And honestly, between the two, within a couple of weeks, the difference I saw was massive. And I mean massive. I'd spray it on my foot, let it dry, and then put my sock on. And then I'd go walk, and it was much easier. Now, I went to Tenerife myself this year, only about probably October time. I think I just miss you, Kevin. I think you've been either side of that. But I went in October, and I got some sun on my back. Now, the thing is, for all I got some sun on my back, I'm not a sunbather. I probably, in the space of a fortnight, I bet I got between about 14 and 16 hours of sun. I'll go one day, I might not go out at all. Another day, I might do an hour and a half or 2 hours. That's maximum for me. I get bored very, very easily. I'm not one for lying on a sun lounger. But I reckon I got 14 to 16 hours of sun during the 2 weeks. So that's the equivalent of, 7 hours a day, 2 days worth of sun. I think the sun helped me as well. My foot, since I've come back, is brilliant. It's barely there. I've not used that or that for 2 months or more. So I think mine's almost got better. Now, I think the sun helped me as well. Now, it's different for me, Kevin, than for you. Because when you're there, you're not getting any sun at all and you're just walking on it constantly. And I wasn't while I was there. I might go out for a walk the odd daytime for half an hour, but stop and have a drink and then walk back. Go out every night time for something to eat, but I wasn't walking far. You're doing lots of miles whilst you're there because you're doing as many videos as you're doing. But I would suggest a combination of those two, and then maybe one holiday where you actually have a holiday. I might be wrong, I'm no doctor, no nothing, but I think you might see a difference. All I know, sir, is the help for me. That was a godsend. That was the game changer, as they say. But that helped massively as well. So give it a go, Kevin. They may work. They may not. But I know you've had mega problems and it won't work to try them. I think that cost me mate 3 or 4 quid, and that's about a £5. So for 8 or 9 quid, it's well worth it. And that is it from me. I don't think I've got anything else to say about Kevin's channel. About Kevin, I don't think so. No, good channel. Very, 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 very productive. I think he has to work his nuts off to make it work, and that is what he's doing. And at the moment, he's doing really, really well. I do hope his foot holds up. I do hope he takes my advice about these 2 things, and it might help him anyway. And that's it. So it should be Sunday, as I say, at 8 o'clock you should get this. There's another one coming out about 8:30, and then there'll be a couple more tomorrow, a couple on Tuesday, and then it may end there. Okay, thank you very much for watching.